What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're taking a look at The Wedding Banquet. This is movies with pride, because it's Pride Month, and this film is definitely in the LGBTQ aisle of the video rental store that doesn't exist. So click like, subscribe, share, and join me on my journey here to build up a cult following on YouTube. I think that's what we do here on YouTube. I always hear about influencers. I'm assuming it's to build up a cult following to do something. I'm not sure what yet. I don't have one. I want one. Then we'll have some fun. Anyway, other critics say they go into things blind. I actually do go into things blind. This movie does have audio description, which is what people like me use to get through things and be able to understand all of the visual cues. And the audio description was produced by Descriptive Video Works. I thought it was pretty good. We have a host of characters, a host of actors here that are recognizable. Kelly Marie Tran is the lead as Angela. Ho Chi Chang, or I'm not familiar with his name. Plays Min. He's also sort of the lead here. And beneath that, we have two very recognizable names. One of them is Lily Gladstone, who plays Lee, who is Angela's partner. And the other is Boen Yang, who plays Chris, who is Min's boyfriend. And they all sort of coexist in this house together that is Lee's house. It was passed down generationally to her. And she shares it with Angela, and they're trying to do IVF and get pregnant, and it's not working out the way that they would expect. And honestly, IVF is expensive, so going through failed round of treatment after failed round of treatment has left them in a position where Lee is trying to get Angela to maybe be the one to because she's younger, maybe Angela would be willing to be the one that was pregnant, even though Angela's worried because Lee is the one who wanted to be pregnant. She was the one who wanted to have that experience. She doesn't know if she'd be taking it away from her. She's also worried about whether or not she actually wants to do it. And also she has generational trauma because her mom, played by Joan Chen, who is in quite a bit of the movie, and her mom wasn't the best mom, but is now getting like awards for being like the best ally ever. So later on in the film, you'll hear sort of the story about them and how this wasn't a thing where Angela came out to her mom as a kid and her mom was like, oh my God, I love it. Hashtag for real. Like, no, they went through a period like a lot of LGBTQ people do, where the parents just don't talk to them, and then eventually the mom came around to it, and now she's trying to make up for it by being like 200%. So she's like fully into it, which is what people who don't know her, know Angela's experience with her, have picked up on, because she's like, championing like hotlines and leading PFLAG and a whole bunch of different things. So Angela's just like, but I don't think you deserve awards for being an ally because you weren't. So that creates a lot of problems for Angela, thinking like, well, what if I'm a bad mom? What if bad mom is just who we are as people in this family? So she's a scientist, by the way, that works with worms. It's a super cool job. That sounds amazing. So Min is also sort of the star here because he is not an American citizen. He's here temporarily on, I don't know, a green card status or student visa. I forgot. And his time is running out, and his parents want him to come home, but he doesn't want to come home because he wants to stay in America. He's had a long-term boyfriend, Chris, played by Boen Yang, who is like a grad student who can never finish his dissertation, because he's off birding too much. I wish I just made that up, but I swear to God that is Chris. That is what he does. He apparently has no career. I don't know. uh, Does he live off of Min? It's mentioned that Min has a lot of money, that his family's stupid rich, because one of the things that happens in here involves a chunk of money to help them pay for their IVF treatment. But what does Chris do? Like, what do you do for a living? How do you pay rent? How do you buy anything? There's never a mention of how Chris has money that I know of, that I picked up on. He does do a little bit of gaming. Maybe does he do Twitch? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because Boen Yang is just effortlessly entertaining no matter what. So yeah, there's that. And but Min tries to propose to Chris, and Chris thinks he's just trying to do it to stay in the country, despite the fact that they've been dating for 5 years. So Chris says no, but they don't break up, and Min has to find another way. So he proposes an idea to our lesbian couple, since they're struggling with finances to keep doing rounds of IVF, that he will fund their IVF if Min can marry Angela, to be able to stay in the country. If they can pull off like a fake, all they have to do, it's like all they have to do is go down to the courthouse, sign some documents, whatever, just so he can say, we're married. Of course, it's never that easy. No, that would be, we'd have no movie if it was that simple. But actually, Lily Gladstone's Lee is really down for this. She's okay with it. She's like, well, whatever. This sounds stupid, but whatever. It'll pay for IVF and we can have babies. That's all I want. So Angela's a little trepidatious about it, but agrees to it because she has the backing of her partner. So and they're like, well, why not Lee? And Lee's like, I've built my entire identity around being a lesbian. I don't think I would pass a green card interview. And Angela, I guess, has sort of a little bit more of a, like, Lily Gladstone's like an actually advocate or something like that. She works within the community itself, pays her to, so she's deep in, is what she's trying to say. And Angela is a scientist that works with worms, so it's less like obvious, I guess. And like, plus you've been with boys, so like I guess in her high school or college years she had been with boys before coming out. So yeah, the movie progresses forward. Obviously, it turns into a wacky situation where Grandma ends up coming over because she wants to meet Angela. So Min's incredibly strict family, who would never appreciate him ever. And then there's all this stuff about tradition. There's quite a bit of Korean in here that ends up, if you're blind like me, it ends up getting sort of dubbed in the audio description, which is fine. I wish we had more narrators. Bleecker Street didn't pay for, a whole bunch of different narrators for different characters and different voices. So it's kind of just one person doing a lot of heavy lifting. So, but I liked it. I mean, I like the film. I don't want to tell you how the film ends. It gets complicated. There are some decisions that are made. Two of the characters have a little bit of a whoopsie-daisy that was a little bit hard for me to take, which is the only reason this film has a score that it does, because I really enjoyed this movie a lot more. But the film does stick its neck out a little bit in an unbelievable way. There's a little thing that they throw into this movie where they're like, and what if these characters did this? And I was like, I don't think those characters would, under any circumstance. I don't buy that for a second. I don't care how drunk or how high you make somebody. Not gonna happen. I mean, I guess we get like a cuter ending because of it, but it created a conflict that really did not make sense because it never made sense and it never needed to be there, which is sad because the whole movie around that is great. I think that's the thing that holds up the movie maybe the most for people. That's got to be. The other thing is maybe the fact that the grandmother, the Min's grandmother that comes over, is a little bit more accepting of, and her cold heart gets warmed up a lot faster than you would think. She doesn't play the villain. We don't really have a villain here. This is sort of like a feel-good LGBTQ movie where everybody is accepting pretty darn quickly. And instead of experiencing homophobia, we just talk about it like tangentially. Like people have experienced it traumatically in the past, but it's not really a part of their current future. And even the adult characters that come into the story aren't really homophobic. Certainly May's not at this point in her life, and she's trying to overcorrect by being even more supportive of Angela. And she does offer, at least in this whole situation, when she knows what's going on, she offers a sort of a nice perspective for the grandmother, so because otherwise the grandmother would be the only like older character there among this group of LGBTQ 30 somethings. I'm going to go with 30 somethings. I think they're probably all in their 30s. So, or supposed to be anyway. Yeah. So the wedding banquet, I think it was fun. I think it was cute. I think it was charming. It charmed my socks off. I'm not wearing socks right now, so I can literally say that. And it's true. My socks are gone. I'm not wearing them. I know you can't see that, but I would need a better setup. I would need to have like be able to switch to a second view of the camera that's staring at my feet. Then I would probably get more followers because I'm sure there would be feet people on here who'd be like, "Oh my God, his feet. He's really not wearing socks. Wait a minute. He's not wearing socks." Anyway, yeah. The wedding banquet. I liked it. I think you'll like it too. Unfortunately, they make a decision. If you've seen the movie, I'm going to say it's a decision between two of the four leads. I don't really want to, I don't want to go and spoil it. But yeah, like sort of, I would say about a third into the movie, two of the characters do something and you're like, nah, they wouldn't do that. I mean, that's nice movie for you to think that, but no. And it kind of took me out of it because then it becomes like this thing that comes back around and you're like, ah, damn it. We're going to make this a thing, aren't we? Oh man, it's a big thing. Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, I would not buy that at all. Sorry, I did not. But I love the rest of the movie. I just wish somebody had said, wait a minute, is this plausible? What amount of alcohol? Anyway, so I'm giving the wedding banquet a B plus because I can't give it an A minus or an A because I think it's just they went for a stretch that they didn't need to go for a film that's charming and probably do like an A minus otherwise. So yeah, that's the wedding banquet. Check it out. It's actually 99% 99% really good. It's just sometimes people they're like, you know what, we should put in the story, we should do this. And nobody says no. Nobody asks questions. And then something ends up in the movie and you're like, oh, nobody stopped that? We're all cool with that? All right. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.